Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to another community call. This time it's May 2024. We're going to cover the topics of what happened in April. As always, the year is flying by. We're almost halfway through, but it's great to be talking to you wherever you are around the world. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to this call. Let's dive right into it. As always, we kind of cover three main areas. We talk about the core product, we talk about the community growth, and we talk about the network. And we're going to do the same this month, starting with the core product. First thing to talk about, this last month has been a lot more bug fixes and other performance improvements. But the key thing is we are continuing with growth on the number of networks that we support. Now we are at 182 networks that we support, and that number is growing every day, really. If you scroll down the list of different networks we support now, there is 72 different EVM networks, for example. There's a large number of networks on Polkadot, 57, Cosmos, 45 different zones. It's an excellent example of the growth we are getting. And one of the reasons for this is because of we're making it very easy. Let's just talk about some of those networks that we are talking about. We've added support for Japan Open Chain this last month. We've also Layer 0 and Linear we've added support for. So there's a bunch of new ones and many more that we haven't had time to do announcements yet for. We're getting to the point where we're getting a lot of inbound people and networks reaching out to us. In fact, most of our new networks, the network reaches out to us and says, hey, can you add indexing support for our network? And we are more than happy to do so. And that's really most of our new networks. They come from like test networks or early stage networks that have just been developed and launched, and they've reached out to us as first partner to add data indexing support, which is a key tooling aspect for their brand new network. One of the big new growths that we mentioned, as I said, we've got a lot of EVM networks, and it was very easy to add EVM support. And we had so many people asking us to add support for their EVM-based network, whether it's a layer 2 or just some standalone EVM chain, that we even made it really easy to add in EVM indexing support. So we basically made a form that partners can use to request indexing support for their new network. It's a very simple form. All it asks for is the name of the network, the chain ID, an endpoint, a few token address information, but anyone can basically fill this out and we automatically generate a brand new example network to support them, and we obviously add it to our list. So if you're building an EVM network out there and you want to get support added for your network, and you don't want to wait for us, you can go out and start fill out the form right now. The link is in the comments section here. It's quite a long one, unfortunately. It's on a GitHub page, and that will allow you to get support added to your new EVM network from SubQuery within only a few minutes. Quite good for us. Let's talk about other things. So we get a lot of customers these days coming from subgraphs. Subgraphs, everyone knows a graph, and a lot of our customers are moving their subgraphs, or in the process of moving their subgraphs to the SubQuery network. And this is something we're always thinking about because we do a lot of support for these teams. We help them along, we handhold them along. Then we're thinking about how do we make this better? Now, we all know the reasons why customers want to migrate from the graph to SubQuery: better feature support, wider chain support, a lot of chains that the graph doesn't support. We've got a new decentralized network. We're not sunsetting our managed service. We're also faster, as we kind of talk about. We're almost 3.9 times faster than the graph on standard projects out there. So we thought long and hard about how can we make this easier. And one of the big things we've done in the last month is update our CLI tool to automatically migrate or do all of the migration work. So there's a new command, SubQuery migrate, and you enter the name of the subgraph and the output file you want. And what it will do is it will take that subgraph and it will automatically begin the migration process for you to a SubQuery project. So it initializes a new SubQuery project. It copies over basic information like the name of it and the metadata. And of course, it starts copying key files like the mapping functions, the GraphQL schema files, and the project manifest files. So it makes it easy for you to get the whole boilerplate. When we're talking about development, software development, we talk about boilerplate. Boilerplate is the code that you have to write anyway. It's kind of like, this is fluff. It automates the boilerplate for you. And at the end of it, you get this working SubQuery, or not working yet, but very close to working SubQuery project based off your previous subgraph. So saves you a few hours of time, makes it very easy, and makes the migration process almost like too easy now. We've intentionally tried to make the developer experience similar, and this is the result that we're getting from that. Now, just a reminder, if you want to migrate your subgraph, it's very easy. There's documentation on our website. I'll just share a link to that now. And if you want help doing that, that's fine. Many customers do want help. You can reach out to us at hello@subquery.network or any of on Telegram, on Discord, and we can provide some support as you migrate your subgraph to the SubQuery network. So don't fear. In terms of other news, there's been a bunch of new partners come on the last month. Zondex is one of them, of course, Origin Trail, Zeev, and Pike. These are just a number of the new projects that have been developed on the SubQuery network recently. We're constantly talking to teams. Some don't get mentions, but these are some of the key ones in the last month. And there's a bunch here coming through the pipeline as well, which is exciting. I think that's mostly it for the SDK side. We've kind of have a very big month of just fixing bugs and improving processes, as you can see. So now we're going to move towards the community side of things. Now, the community, of course, is very important. And the last month, we finished one of the biggest campaigns we've ever run, the Seekers program. The Seekers program was huge. It was well beyond our expectations. And it was a gamified and incentivized program with 50 million SQT available. That was up for grabs by our community members for doing various challenges. A lot of people joined. In fact, here are some key stats. Let's go through them. Over 300,000 participants registered. Obviously, 50 million SQT was up for grabs. Of those, almost 18,000 completed KYC, got the minimum required number of points, verified the email. We did a lot of work around preventing botnets and preventing cyber attacks, so that we don't want your tokens going to bots, for example. And you can see here that we had a lot of success at preventing bots from winning tokens from real people, which is what we don't want. We don't want bots to take tokens. A lot of referrals happened, of course, and a lot of points that scored. Over 150 million points were scored in this process. The highest score was almost 6 million points. That individual got over 500 referrals. They were a big KOL, I assume, and they referred a lot of people to the Seekers program. And as a result, their score was quite high, but the average score is around 8,600 points, with a lot of challenges. Now, we already have distributed tokens. I think there are, there's almost like 18,000 people that got distributed and airdropped SQT. If you haven't claimed it already, you can go to the claim page. Claim.subquery.foundation is the website, and make sure you claim your tokens. Some of those tokens are on a vesting contract. You might have to wait 6 months, but you can go and claim it whenever you want. So feel free to be patient, whatever, but those tokens are available. It was a huge success, this program. We're very happy with it. A massive success and a massive amount of work from our team. We're very happy with how it went. All right, next one we're going to talk about is governance. Now, we reached a milestone it was a couple of weeks ago, where we did our first ever community governance vote. Now, this was a governance vote specifically for node operators. We're asking them their views around a minimum commission rate. It's something that they asked for. And so we put up on our snapshot a vote quietly for the node operators to vote on. We invited them to vote on it. It was open. And we got a lot of votes through using Snapshot to vote to adjust the minimum node operator commission rate, which is a great milestone for us. This is what we wanted to do. This is what we've been trying to aim to do for a long time. Now, this is an indication of things to come. We're a big fan of governance. We know how important community governance is to a network. Open governance is not just a buzzword. It's a fundamental principle that guides the development of these kind of decentralized networks. So that's why we want to talk about our next steps. And that's really around the SubQuery Foundation. Now, I've just made a post on the forum, and I'll put a link to it here, that covers some key topics around governance. And I highly recommend those that are interested in governance of the SubQuery network to have a read, and to provide their comments. We're asking for comments, feedback on this, but potentially at a high level, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make an open, inclusive, and fair community. The foundation is designed to kind of focus on these 6 key areas. Obviously, promote network around the space and marketing, manage treasury funding and allocate treasury funding to the right needs and purposes, grants programs as well, build the community, the ecosystem, so business development, ecosystem development, education of the ecosystem, and make sure that the network is, of course, decentralized. There are plenty of node operators, there's plenty of different delegators, all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of the purpose of the foundation. And now we're trying to talk about different tools around how the foundation will do this. And one of the key things is around, we want to make it easy for individuals in the community to suggest how we change things. So we've got 3 different proposals proposed. We're proposing some proposals. There are 3 types: meta proposals, which are governance related matters. That's not as important right now, but the main 2 that will be interesting of the community will be product proposals, SubQuery product proposals, SPPs. They are proposals that discuss product development, technical matters, parameter changes. So if you want to propose that we build something, or we fix a bug, or we change the way the network operates in some way, you can make an SPP to that effect, and it'll be voted on. Now, the treasury proposal is another one that'd be interesting. So STPs, if you want to propose that we spend some of the SubQuery treasury in terms of, let's say, a hackathon or a grant program, or to go off and build something for the network, that goes under STPs. We've shared, as I said, in the forum, a bit more of a description of how this will work. But the idea is now that anyone in the community will have a chance to suggest and shape the direction of the SubQuery network. You'll be able to propose what you want to do, and it will be public and visible for everyone to consult on it, to discuss it, to share their views, and to work on it together. That's what we're trying to aim to achieve in the SubQuery decentralized network. So have a read of the forum post. It's there in the comments, and let us know your thoughts. Can't wait to hear them. Now, I'm going to invite on Marta to talk about what's been happening recently.
Yes, we've been very busy. We came to Sydney to meet with friends, partners, and developers. We joined a lot of events which happened around EVE Global Sydney, and this was the first time this hackathon happened in Sydney and actually in Oceania continent. And EVE Global Sydney was a hackathon, but there was also a conference, Pragma Sydney, that happened the day before the hackathon. And there was a lot of side events, as usually when you have a big hackathon happening in the city, you see a lot of people organizing events around the hackathon. And it was a great occasion to meet with our partners and actually even co-host one of the events. I came there with Brittany. You can see us here on the picture on the left side having fun on the at the booth, photo booth at the main hackathon event. James, if you can switch to the next slide. I want to share a few words about the event that we co-sponsored. So we were a main sponsor of a side event, which happened as a part of regular Ethereum Sydney meetup and EVE Sydney meetup, and it was co-hosted also by ZK Sync and Ethereum Foundation. And we had a keynote speech there where I've discussed concept behind our network, how we brought support for not only indexers, but also RPC providers, and why did we do it, why we've made this decision, how we build it, and how easy it is actually to join the network today, and what we plan for the future. And what was great about this event was that it was the first event in the entire week, and there was no other event happening. And in the evening, and we interested a lot of developers who are there in the city, ready to hug a day after, ready to join another conference, and they came to see us. So that was absolutely awesome, and we had a great audience filled with developers. So we had awesome chats and great questions happening, and yeah, a perfect occasion, perfect meetup. And we've been meeting some of the people that join our talk all over the week on other events, and they were saying hi to us, and we started a lot of great, meaningful conversations. So that was absolutely delightful. And James, if you can share one slide more. Yeah, our merch was also quite popular. So stay tuned for more events that we are going to do this year, and we meet, and you can grab some cool swag that we prepared. It was quite popular. We came with a lot of it, and it was all gone. So that was also a nice touch. And the last thing I want to share, that always such events are a great occasion to meet partners. And here is one more slide with sweet photos of us meeting with Base team who came to the Eve Global Hackathon to do workshop, and they had their own bounty, and also ZK Sync team, Amy there on the right photo, amazing girl who also was there with us on the Eve Sydney event that we co-sponsored together. So I think that's all what I wanted to say, apart from stay tuned for announcements. Where are we going? It's always lovely to meet you. And yeah, keen to see you in person in other cities and other countries will be this year. It's always great.
Yeah, thanks, Marta. And there's a question here around any events planned in Europe. We'll probably be at ECC at this stage, as well as a few others around there. There's a bunch of events.
We will be in Berlin also for Blockchain Week, and this is the earliest that it's happening. It won't be me or James, sadly, but there will be SubQuery team. So Berlin, a lot of events there, busy city, and we will be in Brussels for FCC. So that's it for Europe. I think that we know that is like confirmed that we are going to.
Excellent. Well, let's talk about the community members. Now invite Suchi up on stage to talk about that. Thanks, Marta.
Yeah, thanks, Meta. Thanks, James. Yeah, recently we have the little community campaign, and we have been giving away weekly reward. First of all is the weekly member, and we will reward one community member each week for their contribution. And for getting the reward, actually, you can be a regular community member who just answers questions in our general channel. You can just give us some great feedback or contribution to the technical side or something, or anyone can participate. And as long as your contribution is being seen, we will reward you. So let's take a look who has been our member of the week in April. First week, we have Balista. He's from Thailand community. He very active in the Thai community and posting messages daily. And the second week, we have Spencer. He's very active in our general community. Always answer questions for helping peoples and for helping people and answer questions, giving the really great responses. And the third week we have Vidalin. He has been as our indexer for a long time. He often discuss technical topic with people in the network indexer general channel and also in the Russia community. And for the fourth week is Tommy. He get input from into the community in the community, and is very useful feedback for our team from his own experiences. So this is the four member of week from our April. And except that actually we have more the little campaign in our community. We have the Discord raffle campaign, which is called April SubQuery Sugar Soldier, and And this is invite campaign. Actually, our community members, you can just invite your friends join our Discord channel, and for each week you will win. If you got the first. You got the top one. If you got the top one, you are the winner. And from the first place to the 5th place, actually, we have the reward for each one. And we thanks all for participation and inviting your friend into our community. Our community has growth from 40K to 47K members in this month. So we have 7,000 newcomers in this month. And a total of the 20 winners have earned our community Discord role of Rising Star. And we have reward in total of 1,120 dollar in SQT. And actually, the event will be continued in next month. So we will continue to host the June SubQuery referral campaign, and we are looking forward to you to participation.
Yeah, don't miss out on the June campaign. It's been great to see how competitive this is, and the number of referrals that have been put out there. Thanks, Suchi, for joining the call. Let's talk about the next thing, which is the final focus area, the SubQuery network. So just as always, we always provide these kind of metrics every week at the end of the eras. We're seeing constant growth, which is what we want to see. The number of node operators, the number of delegators as well, the amount delegated total, the amount staked. We're still seeing very high APYs. There's almost 30% median APY for node operators. Some are earning a lot more, like 97% APY, which is insane. They're doing a very good job. And for delegators, is a comfortable almost 15% APY as a median delegator. I'm doing a bit better than that myself. And I think most people that are looking at this and managing it on a day-to-day basis are doing pretty well. So don't forget to join as a delegator right now. It's very easy to do that. We provide a lot of guides around how to join as a delegator. And I will share a link to the easiest guide just now. How you can delegate. So just don't forget to have a look. Now, there's a question already. Does it possible to run an index without strong DevOps background and experience? Running an indexer or a SubQuery, acting as a SubQuery node operator, it's kind of similar to running as a validator. So you kind of do want to know what you're doing in terms of like knowing how to run a VM and monitor a VM. So if you don't have a lot of strong kind of DevOps experience, it's still possible. It's still very easy to do, but you might have some difficulty with it. You do have to run the services. You have to monitor the services. There's a bit to do around that, but I'm sure you can figure it out. And this is a great opportunity for you to learn these skills as well. So don't miss out on that. Now, the estimated APY, this is a really important number. And what we've done is we've put a lot of effort into making sure this number is available everywhere. Now, APY is annual percentage yield. It's a term that's used to describe how much rewards that you will receive over a year's term. And it's a great way to measure compare different kind of opportunities. Now, APY is an easy number to calculate. Essentially, you look at the total rewards expected for the year, divided by the amount that you stake or you have to lock to get those rewards. So in our network app, we just added APY everywhere to make it really easy to understand what the score is like and what the stats are. So for example, in the dashboard here, we actually have the APY from the network printed right there on the most primary place. Okay, so that's a really good opportunity. If you're a delegator, which most of you are, there's over 1,000 delegators right now. you want to look at this page, which is my delegation, and this is an up-to-date view of your APY. So for example, I see here I've got 3 delegations, and I can see that my estimated APY right now is about 13.2%. And I've got certain of my rewards. Now, it's a great opportunity to like also check what node operators you might want to consider delegating to. So if I look at the app here, I'm just going to go live to the app. And I'm going to look at different node operators as a delegator. I can decide which node operator to delegate to. So I can go down here and I can also see when it loads, sorry, mine's slow when I'm streaming, the different APY for these different node operators. So for example, SubQuery.eth has got quite a high APY right now. Same with Counterpoint Software, and a bunch of others that you might consider to delegate to. So these are things you want to use and compare when you're deciding as a delegator where you want to put your tokens. Now, it goes beyond that. So if you're an indexer, you can also use the Explorer, I believe, to see the APY of different projects, the historical APY of a project for indexes. And it provides a great way for you to, we're adding that right now, so we don't have that at the moment, but we will be adding that. It allows indexes or node operators a better opportunity to decide what projects to index or to allocate their state to. So we're going to be adding this feature to a lot of pages to make it more easy for you to make stronger decisions about where to put your tokens. There's some questions here. Yeah, there's also a bunch of, if you do want to run a node, from the question before that we answered, there is a great Discord channel with Network Indexer General. I highly recommend joining that and just asking some questions. There's some very extremely friendly node operators in that channel. A bunch that are in the comments section already here that will help you and support you. I highly recommend you just answer some questions. There's no dumb questions to ask, and you'll probably get the support that you need to do that. Now, if you want to join as an indexer, I do recommend doing it now. Now's a good time because we've just launched a new node operator onboarding program. This is a brand new program that we're launching for May. That is a reward program for newer node operators. So this could be you, Roger. You could be part of this. Essentially, in summary, what's happening is that we are going to provide special offers to both new node operators and existing node operators. So if you're a new one and you start operating in the month of May, the foundation will delegate double your stake amount for the first 6 months of your operation. So for example, you stake 200,000 SQT, the foundation will delegate 400,000 SQT to make your total 600,000. If you are already a node operator, so if you're an existing node operator, we have a referral bonus for you. So if you refer a node operator, a new one, and again, I suggest if you get support from another node operator in Discord when you're setting it up, you probably should say that they referred you just to thank them. The person that referred you will get a 1.5 delegation bonus. Actually, no, that's a bit outdated. It should be 300,000 SQT delegation bonus for 6 months. But there are some terms on a forum post on our blog. I just put a link in the chat here so you can have a look at it all. And you can reach out to us on Discord if you have any questions about that. So don't miss out. There's a blog post about it, and it's in the comment section here. So great time to join the network as a new node operator. And as I mentioned, currently the APY for node operators is quite high, right? It's almost 30% right now. So that's a special offer for new node operators. Now, some of you are listening for the Zealy code word. Your Zealy code word today is governance vote in celebration of our first ever governance vote last month. Governance vote is your Zealy code word. All in one word, not case sensitive. And then lastly, Raja, we're going to give you the instant win. Thank you very much for joining. Raja Lingasawan, you have got the instant win of 500 XP. Zealy, thank you very much for joining and asking some great questions in the chat. Now, Q&A, any other questions, feel free to put them in the comments section or look in Discord. There's a bunch of questions around token deflation. Now, SubQuery network is actually an inflationary network. The network does have an inflation rate around about 1.3% per year. Most of those tokens work as network allocation rewards, so they go rewarded to our node operators. Some of that goes to the treasury, which again we discussed around you can make proposals to the treasury to fund certain things. So it's inflationary. We're not making it deflationary. Now, that will probably be balanced over time. It may be the case that the foundation wants to burn some tokens. There is already a burn address, and that is the token contract itself. And there's a bunch of tokens already sent there. But we have no intention to change it to be a deflationary network at this point in time. The inflation aspect allows us to fund the treasury, which in turn allows us to fund things that are important to the ecosystem and its growth. Is there a plan to add Solana to the indexer list? Maybe at some point. It comes up a few times. Solana is quite tricky. It's got some challenges to index. But with our new improvements, we may work on Solana in the near future. Keep an eye on the space. Let's just take a quick look at Discord to see if there's anything there. Otherwise, we will close this call, I think. No, nothing. Well, thank you very much for joining the call. As always, join our Discord. We're already in there in the general channel and many other channels as well. Connect with us on Twitter, follow us on Twitter. You can read our blog, and we look forward to seeing you in the community, in the Discord. Join as a delegator or a node operator. That's you, Rajan, to join as a node operator, and have a wonderful rest of your day. It's a pleasure talking to you, and thank you much for listening. We'll be sharing a summary of this later on, but it was a pleasure. Cheers, everyone. Bye.